Horrific violence this morning on a Manchester synagogue where 2 lives were sadly lost, and is utterly deplorable. It shouldn't be conflated with the fight for Palestinian rights, which is rooted in international law, human dignity and non-violent resistance. There will be people out there who are going to, just filled with bigotry and racism, who are going to try and turn this into a sort of a culture divide and a fight between communities, but that's not what we're about. We're a movement led by humanitarians, legal scholars, peace activists across the globe. It doesn't target places of worship, it does not condone violence against civilians, and it doesn't stand for anti-Semitism in any form. We condemn the Manchester attack unequivocally, we mourn with the Jewish community, and we reject any attempt to exploit this tragedy to delegitimise the Palestinian cause or to stoke division. Our movement must be built on truth, justice and solidarity, not fear, hatred or misinformation. Let us stand together against all forms of violence. Let us stand together for peace. The Global Sumud Flotilla, a peaceful convoy of humanitarians, doctors, parliamentarians and activists from over 40 countries, set sail with one mission: to break the siege on Gaza and deliver life-saving aid to a people starved by blockade and war. We all watched in horror as Israel sent warships with the IOF illegally intercepting the flotilla in international waters. Shame! They boarded the vessels with violence, using water cannons under pressure, cutting communication, detaining over 443 volunteers across the globe. Shame on them. Shame! These were non-combatants, they were peaceful activists, they were people of conscience. Greta Thunberg, Mandela, Rima Hassan, that's only a few of the hundreds that were kidnapped for daring to care. This is not just a violation of maritime law, it's a crime against humanity, it's a war crime. Israel's blockade has turned Gaza into a graveyard. Famine has set in, over 66,000 Palestinians have been killed, and that's a conservative number, including 18,000 children. And now even the boats carrying diapers, baby formula are seen as threats. We say no more! No more! We demand the immediate release of all the detained flotilla members. We demand an end to the blockade and an accountability for these war crimes. Let this rally echo across borders. Humanity is not a crime! Humanity is not a crime!
Humanity is not a crime!
Humanity is not a crime!
Humanity is not a crime!
Solidarity is not terrorism! Solidarity is not terrorism! Solidarity is not terrorism!
Solidarity is not terrorism!
And silence is not an option!
Silence is not an option!
2008, he was on one of the first two boats that ever broke the siege of Gaza. So in 2008, two fishing boats, the Free Gaza and the Liberty, set off from Cyprus with 40 humanitarians on board. Mashir was the only Palestinian from Gaza on board. And it took a year or more to find the way to support these boats setting sail, including the money for the boats was raised in the United States mainly, and a month before the boats set off, the US government seized the money from the bank accounts. So that was one example of the sort of barriers that were faced. The 40 people, they include, I'm trying to remember the other people that were on the boat. There was a Hedy Epstein, who has now died, who was an 84-year-old Jewish Holocaust survivor. Jeff Halper, an Israeli Jew, was on board. I can't remember the names of the other people, but they sailed on these fishing boats. And it's exactly as we have been trying to do over the last 2 days. We tried our best to amplify their voices, to keep them safe. And amazingly, they did reach the shores of Gaza. So, those 500 brave people over the last weeks who have attempted to sail to Gaza, they stand on the shoulders of people who've gone before. They stand on the shoulders of the 10 people who were on the Mavi Mavra, who were murdered by the Israeli forces when they forcibly boarded their boat. I hope, but I don't know, and none of us can know, whether any lives have been lost over the last 24 hours. Many of us will have seen the water cannon that was being fired onto the boats, and we can only hope that nobody was either injured or killed by the attacks by the Israelis. But that's the legacy, and although, as far as we know, none of the boats did reach Gaza, this is the legacy of resistance, of global resistance, of solidarity, of humanity. As Shireen was speaking about humanity earlier on, and that's what our movement is. And that's what the people who boarded those boats, who risked their lives to try and get to Gaza. But let's make sure that this doesn't disappear. Like you, I have no faith in my government, but like you, I was ringing up the Foreign Office last night. I rang them about 5 times. I also messaged my MP, who did actually reply at 11 o'clock at night, because she was actually also watching the news. But we need to keep hassling them. Those people are still at risk. They are abducted, kidnapped, illegally kidnapped by Israel, and goodness knows what they will be going through right now. So we need to keep hassling. We also need to know that there are more boats leaving now which are setting sail. So this movement, this resistance, this international global solidarity is not going to go away. And we need to make sure that we're part of that. So I just wanted you to know, because I thought many of you will know nothing about Mashir's and the others who forged the way in 2008. Okay, thank you.